She invited you back to hers, warned you that her mum was there, but didn't warn her mum. So you walked in on her mum watching crime programs.
Yes.
I mean, what? I mean, in what situation? Where do you go there? You're like, hi.
That was certainly a funny and bizarre way to meet what would become my future mother-in-law.
Is that a relief to like push the work out there and finally go, there it is?
It's a major relief. It's also quite scary, because you're like, you spend all this time working on it, and then all of a sudden it's out in the world, and it's no longer yours, kind of, but it's a great feeling too. So I'm very excited and thrilled to be talking to you guys. It's been too long.
Mate, it has been too long. As you mentioned there, obviously it's been 5 years since your last solo album. Was this kind of something that you were kind of working on throughout, or was it just once, you kind of, the Jonas Brothers been put on a little bit of a hiatus again? Is that when you started into this?
Yeah, well, this whole album kind of came out of, being locked at home with nothing else to do. I've been writing, nonstop since the last solo album I did, but obviously the brothers and we did our thing and went on tour for almost a year straight, and then life just shut down. So, I was at home with my thoughts and at a certain point away from my wife, and I just went into a tunnel and just started writing and creating. And the album is very much kind of born out of this experience that we've all been in, of being, away from each other and the world and our loved ones, and just tried to dig in and make it happen.
Mate, speaking of which, one of my favourite songs of yours, and I've genuinely had it on repeat, is This Is Heaven. Now, that is, about being reunited with someone. And obviously, we've all, not been able to be with people in the last year. So is there anyone that you're really looking forward to actually being reunited with?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of friends that I haven't seen, and people that I can't wait to spend time with again. But to be honest, I can't wait to go back out on tour and play in front of the fans again. And we were so lucky in that we were able to actually get through all of the Happiness Begins tour before lockdown started. But I'm very eager to get back out there and see the fans. So hopefully that, live music opens up soon, and we can do that in a safe way.
Another gig, yeah.
Yeah, we will be front row, believers. Now, I was looking at the, stuff about the album, and apparently it's really all based on your wife, Priyanka. How did she react when she heard the album for the first time?
She loved it. And it's as I mentioned before, it's like once it's released, it's kind of not yours anymore. And what I mean by that is that like you have this secret, this thing that only you have, that you can play kind of in the house and whatever. It's so exciting that now the world gets to hear it and hopefully enjoys it. But that's been, kind of, I think such a positive thing that has come out of this very strange time, is just this ability to create. And she's been really busy as well, working on a number of projects. So we've tried to spend as much time as we can, seeing the positive sort of creative aspect out of this time. And I think she was very happy that this album came out of this, which is basically a bunch of love letters to her.
Priyanka and yourself, you literally have like this fairy tale kind of romance. It's so nice. And I know that she wrote in her book, she said that you guys kind of had a unique way of meeting one another's parents. She said that she invited you back to hers, warned you that her mum was there, but didn't warn her mum. So you walked in on her mum watching crime programs.
Yes.
I mean, what? I mean, in what situation? Where do you go there? You're like, hi.
That was certainly a funny and bizarre way to meet what would become my future mother-in-law. But it's perfect too. It's the right way to do it, just to surprise her while she's watching her SVU or whatever it was.
Perfect. I hope she had it on record though.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now let's go back to the album, because as soon as we saw the artwork, we're just thinking this is an album for us. It features you doing some pretty epic stunts, presumably on the moon. How many times did you have to awkwardly do the jump?
Quite a few times. It was a physically draining video shoot, kind of surprisingly so. But the whole idea was to sort of make it feel like I was on this other planet, and like I was the only person left on this planet. And so we actually went to this like volcanic rock site where, like, I guess 1,000 years ago there was a volcano in California and it erupted, and so now there's always like, you know, rocks that if you fall on them, which I did multiple times, very painful. So I'm still recovering. I still have like some scratches and other things, but it was worth it, you know, for the art.
I don't think these guys actually understand the lengths we go through for our art. Okay, now I don't know if you know, but I'm on a show over here in the UK called Dancing on Ice. Okay, and I've got a dance on ice, and you know I've hurt myself. I've got a few injuries. Is there any actual injuries that you have got from picking up from doing these videos?
Yeah, during the video for Close.
Oh my God, yeah, Tovlo. Oh yeah, that looked horrendous.
It was pretty rough. We did this like dance sequence at the end, and it was pretty brutal because we just did it like on the cement, and I'm sure it's nothing compared to your injuries, but I certainly was a little banged up after that one.
Yeah, that one is, it's a great video though. That one. Look, Sonny mentioned it there. He's having to mention it, Nick. It's a big thing in his world. He's in the final of Dancing on Ice this weekend.
Wow.
Now I do want to talk.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it is, mate. I do want to talk about how you and the Jonas Brothers have given many sports stars Jonas Blessing, which I understand you've given it to loads throughout the past. Sonny J, does he get the inspirational speech from Nick Jonas?
Well, here's the thing about the Jonas Blessing. For those that don't know, basically, you know, a bunch of athletes who came to Jonas Brothers shows and the Happiness Begins tour ended up winning a bunch of, you know, championships and awards and things. And so we kind of deducted that, you know, it's because of us. Obviously.
So what you're saying is Nick, that, you know.
See, I would love to bestow upon you the Jonas Blessing, but the problem is that you have to come to a show, and right now we're not playing shows.
I've been to your show before. You've been to one of our shows. You've played at one of our shows before, Nick. And I mean,
Nick, he's begging.
He's begging,
Please.
Nick, please just let him stand outside the window, and you can just serenade him. We won't tell anyone where you live. He'll just stand there.
Well, I would love to help you, but I think at this moment it's all in your hands. It's all in your skates.
Very good. It's all in your skates.
Sonny, you tried.
What makes you more nervous? Is it debuting a brand new song, or like filming a comedy sketch like on SNL Live?
I guess I had like put so much stress on just the performance aspect in the past. I've been on the show a few times to just perform, and this time midweek, after doing all these rehearsals and picking sketches and prepping for the live show, I was like, oh yeah, I'm performing too. And suddenly it put everything in perspective. If I'm going to be so stressed about this thing previously, and this time it's like, you know, of the things I'm doing, not the top priority necessarily, well, then I should approach everything that way. So I kind of just gave that I don't really care energy to everything in the sense that it's way better when you just have fun, you know, and when you're just down to have a good time. And I kind of treated it as if I was with my friends. We'd had a few drinks and we were all just having a laugh, and it worked out that way.
Mate, the list of things you're doing at the moment are just endless, because you're also starring opposite Tom Holland as well in Chaos Walking. Now, be real with us. Is there any like sort of behind the scenes stories with Tom? Because he seems like a fun guy to work with.
He's a great guy to work with. And in addition to him, you know, you got Daisy, Ridley, and just a really great cast. Yeah, I mean, Tom and I didn't unfortunately have a ton of time to hang out because we were shooting the whole time, and it was a crazy shoot. But you know, one of the things about the movie, for those that haven't seen it, is that the whole idea is that we're in this settlement in this dystopian planet where basically it's all men, and all their thoughts and visuals in their heads are seen and heard. So there was a lot of times we felt kind of like idiots because, you know, we're like acting with this orb around us that's not actually there, and responding to things that aren't actually there, much like Jumanji and, you know, mess of jaguars and tigers being around us that actually weren't there. It's like you look up at each other from time to time and go, okay, this is our job, and we look like fools. We
were talking about this because Chaos Walking is based on a book, which is one of 3. Now, I don't want to get every Nick Jonas fan into a frenzy, but who am I kidding? I really do. Will you be returning in any Chaos Walking sequels?
I don't know. We'll see how people respond to this one.
You're saying you'd be game?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Great.
I'm happy to have more orbs around my head that aren't actually there with all my thoughts.
Fantastic.
Perfect. You've got that. You've got, you know, singles from the album. You've got upcoming movies. You appeared on Saturday Night Live. seriously, is there anything that you're not looking up, kind of doing at the moment? I mean, fencing, horse riding.
I'm taking fencing lessons.
Oh,
So
I
guess
thought so.
That's out. I'm just trying to teach my one dog not to start barking at like 6 in the morning, because he starts barking and it gets very difficult. But I'm unsuccessful at that. So
dog whisperer is next on the list. Okay.
But when you find out how to do that, you let us know. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'd like to know that as well.